guys, welcome to Get Busy Watching. I'm your host, Honest Dan, and I challenge you to Mortal Kombat! You know, that theme has actually kind of grown on me. This will be the first of two WAG movies that came out recently, and I'm very excited for them. So anyone that knows me really well will know that I am a Warner Animation Group simp. They're the reigning champions of animated films right now and outclass their live-action peers by a country mile, despite their niche appeal. Live-action DC movies? Toss that shit in the garbage and light it on fire. Give me WAG! Except the first Wonder Woman and Shazam. I really like those. Live-action Mortal Kombat? Uppercut that shit into a spike pit and give me WAG! So you can probably guess that I'm a big fan of WAG's Mortal Kombat output. Scorpion's Revenge is, well, basically just the first Mortal Kombat tournament, but kinda sorta making Scorpion the main character as he hunts Bi-Han Sub-Zero. But hey, it was violent, and sometimes that's all a bitch really wants in life. A water park of blood and floaties made out of the guts of hapless victims. It's truly the simple things in life.
Toasty.
Battle of the Realms was, well, thank God for that violence because the story is all over the place. In a single 90-minute flick, they somehow crammed 4 games, MK2, 4, 10, and 11 into a single movie. As you can probably guess, it doesn't flow very well. But then again, name the MK story that left you in tears and looking at the world in a new light, renewing your hope in humanity. If you name even one game that did that for you, then bad news, you're probably more fucked in the head than I am. It's Mortal Kombat! It's all about the blood and guts, and having a campy-ass time enjoying it.
I don't care! Yes, you do. That's what makes you different. That's what makes you better.
Well, here we are with WAG's new addition to their Legends continuity, such as it is. And like anything that they do, I'm here. My butt is in a chair, and I am ready to fight. This is my honest opinion of Mortal Kombat Legends Snowblind. Set in a post-apocalyptic reality where Earthrealm has become the Wasteland. Sub-Zero, voiced by Ron Yuan, has vowed to never fight again despite the constant threat of the ruling Black Dragon clan and their leader, Kano, voiced by David Wenham. In a small town unconquered by Kano, only the young warrior Kenshi Takahashi, voiced by Manny Jacinto, stands up to the clan. But after a trick played by the weakened sorcerer Shang Tsung, voiced by Art Butler, to strengthen himself and blind Kenshi, Sub-Zero helps the young warrior to master his other senses.
I will teach you to use your senses.
So I can find Shang Tsung.
No, I will only teach you to live, not to die.
One, two, three, fire!
I'm sick. But I had fun. It's Mortal Kombat. It's always fun. Unless you're playing Special Forces, in which case, may the Elder Gods have mercy on your soul. It's more or less more entertaining than Battle of the Realms, but as far as its story is concerned, it leaves a lot to be desired, especially if you know what this movie is very blatantly ripping off. And like I said before, thank God for the violence, or else this wouldn't have been nearly as entertaining. Now, let's start with that. Let's call out WAG for what they're doing. This is nothing more than the comic book Old Man Logan, but with Mortal Kombat characters. The parallels are staggering. A hellscape ran by psychos. Big shout out to the most forgettable jobber, Cobra, for his makeover, going from a beyond generic Taekwondo student to a generic looking Mad Max reject. I will never speak ill of Kira. I love Kira. I actually kind of hate her makeover. Don't judge me, there's way too many blondes and brunettes in this franchise. Give me more gingers, damn it! The Old Man Logan stand-in is Sub-Zero, who swore off violence due to a tragic backstory. No, seriously, if you know the story of Old Man Logan, Sub-Zero's is pretty identical to Logan's. He lives on a farm, isolated from everyone. We have another protagonist that teams up with Old Man Sub-Zero, who is blind like Hawkeye, who isn't afraid to fight, whereas Old Man Insert will only do it in the final act. Oh, and let's not forget about the trophy room. Kano's isn't nearly as impressive as Red Skull's, but you can clearly see some memorabilia. Sadly, there is no equivalent to the cannibalistic inbreeding Hulks. I know you're disappointed, as we all should be. It's very obvious what WAG was going for here, and wears its influence on its sleeve. Pretty shamelessly, I might add. I won't pretend that it doesn't work. It's not like Mortal Kombat is new to a post-apocalyptic setting. It's just so on the nose.
What kind of man doesn't fight back?
Unfortunately, like a lot of Mortal Kombat movies, well, at least anything made by WAG, it's not very good, primarily due to how unfocused it really is. So we know that Old Man Logan is the base story that they wanted to tell. The problem is when they insert Kenshi. Now, this in and of itself is not a bad thing. It's clear they didn't want to reuse Liu Kang. Understood, we all need a break from the formula from time to time, and Kenshi was the most popular character of the Armageddon trilogy back in the day, so this wasn't an unwelcome change. The issue is incorporating his backstory into the Old Man Logan-esque story. It just doesn't mesh well together. As you can probably tell, the story is essentially shared between Kenshi and Sub-Zero. Since the first and second act place a lot of focus on Kenshi's journey, one would think that the story would be about him seeking revenge against Shang Tsung for blinding him and absorbing the souls of his ancestors, very similar to the game. Here's the problem. Shang Tsung isn't the main villain of Snowblind. Kano is. Kano has nothing to do with Kenshi. In this story, Shang attempts to usurp Kano's command over the Black Dragon, but is killed in combat. Well, there goes the entire point of Kenshi's character arc. So what do they do with him from this point on? Make him a generic hero archetype who wants to fight the bad guys and protect the weak. Motherfucker, are you kidding me right now? That's what Liu Kang is for. Dude is literally a warrior monk. What in the nether realm are you doing?
Your pride will be your downfall.
Doing what's right isn't pride. It's honor.
And then the third act completely derails and is something completely different. Sub-Zero gets all the focus, Scorpion is hamstringed into the flick, and then it's revealed that the reason why everything is so topsy-turvy is because Kano got his hands on Kronika's crown and her hourglass from MK11. How did this glorified thug accomplish that from an omnipotent god? Unclear. This story is truly the what-if of what-if scenarios. But do you notice what's happened? It's not Kenshi that discovers this. It's Sub-Zero, and he's mostly the one who saves the day. At this point, you can just tell that shit was being thrown out there as a reference to the games. Hey, remember this from the game? Remember that from the game? There's a lot of that, and it just feels like pandering without any context. Unless you're actually familiar with MK11, most of these references and plot points will be truly lost on newbies. But I mean, what newbies are interested in Mortal Kombat? Truly, these movies are for the fans.
Did you lose control again? Not yet.
And I have to give a shout out to whoever greenlit giving Tremor the spotlight. It's always nice to see one of the more forgotten ninjas be given some love and actually kind of work within the confines of the story. Tremor was always that ninja that you knew existed, but has only appeared so many times in the games. Hell, he didn't even appear in the Armageddon trilogy. Oh sure, Chameleon and Chameleon appeared, granted in different games, but Tremor was such a black sheep that he didn't make the cut in any version. Point is, it's nice to see him, and not just as a glorified cameo. And you get a shit ton of glorified cameos. Draman gets one, fucking Jarek, the penultimate jobber of the MK universe.
And you'll all bow before him. And if not, what happened to this fool will happen to you.
Beyond all that, the movie is the purest of MK properties. It's all about the violence, not the story. Which is a little bit of a shame, because while the mainline games of the MK universe have never really been good, it makes up for it for having characters that have good backstories. We love the rivalry between Scorpion and Sub-Zero because of their shared mutual history, full of deceit and revenge on both sides. We love Kenshi because he overcame his disability and became a truly standout badass fighter. These movies, sadly, don't really do their characters justice. I've seen far worse, and I'll take this over what we've been given in the past. And I admit that a lot of that is because of the over-the-top violence and gore, and the sheer frequency of it. That shit sticks with you. It can be quite a lot sometimes, but I'd be lying if I said that's not what appealed to me. And if that's what appeals to you, I recommend you check this out, provided you keep your expectations low on the story. My honest rating for Mortal Kombat Legends Snowblind, a 4 out of 5.
I learned only children blame their circumstance. Men change their circumstance.
Thanks so much for watching, you guys. I really appreciate it. Have a great day. Stay safe and healthy out there. Hope to see you soon.